guys, welcome. Monday, amazing day. Let me get this out the way. Hold on, there we go. How is everybody doing today? Hope everybody's having a wonderful day. Hang on a second. Sorry, I'm trying to get my last minute things happening here. There we go. Alrighty, we are in business, as they say. Hello, Miss Diana. Welcome. It's so great to see you. Oh, I am wonderful, darling. Thank you so much for checking in. I have missed you. It's been a while. So I've kind of, as you guys know, I'm finally settled in. My move is complete. I am here. I am in one spot for good. Hi, Sonia. I just saw your donation, so I will get to you first, Miss Sonia. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you for your donation. I appreciate you. All right, guys. So let us go. And I know, right, Diana? So let's go ahead and get started. Catherine, join. I'm so excited tonight, guys, because I have a new Oracle deck that I'm going to try out. You guys are the first ones to experience this beautiful Oracle deck. It is the Rose Oracle. Look how beautiful these cards are. Look at this. Look how gorgeous that is. Look at these. Aren't you stunning? So I'm excited to use these. And we'll just kind of see what they have to say tonight. Love this deck. Like I said, you guys are going to be my first ones to get readings on them. So I'm excited about that. Love. Catherine from Ireland, thank you so much for being here. All right, so as always, first let me do my disclaimer. Any information provided on the show tonight is for entertainment and educational purposes only. It is not meant to treat or diagnose any mental health or health conditions. Hey, Carlos, thanks for being here, darling. Thank you so much. We have a lot to get through. Presh, oh my gosh, everybody's here. So great to see you. Presh, it has been forever, my friend. I'm so glad you are here. Oh, thank you, Miss Catherine. You're so sweet. I appreciate that. Thank you. Yeah, it's been a day, so I'm looking I'm looking a little disheveled right now, but you get the idea. All right, so as we do each week, each show, let's go ahead and begin with our affirmation meditation. Here are affirmation cards, and they are available on my website that is below. If you would like a reading, please make sure that you say so in the comments. Donation readings are done first, so those get priority. If you do make a donation, please make sure that you let me know in the comments, so then that way I can get that, because it doesn't always come through straight away on my email. I do have it right next to me, but I want to make sure it's there. All right, guys. So as always, let's go ahead and begin with our affirmations. So get yourself nice and settled in. Sit back in your chair very comfortably. Just allow yourself to be. If you're driving, you can do the breathing portion of this exercise, but please do not close your eyes. So go ahead and just close your eyes and get yourself nice and settled in. Allow your tummy to relax and just extend. Good. Allow your shoulders to drop. Release your jawline. Bringing awareness to your body now. Good. And just allow any tension that's showing up for you right now just to release. And this week's affirmation is, I attract infinite abundance. I love this card. I attract infinite abundance. So let's go right hand over heart, left hand over our tummy. And I really want you to feel the energy coming in from this. I attract infinite abundance. Breathing that in nice and deep. Good. Big exhale out. I attract infinite abundance. Nice big inhale. Breathing in that energy of love, trust, security. Good. Big exhale out. I attract infinite abundance. Breathing that in nice and deep. And really feeling yourself just attracting all that you need. Everything is provided for you. Good. Big exhale out. Last one in. I attract infinite abundance. Breathing that in nice and deep. Good. Big exhale out. And just allow this moment. See yourself just being showered by the universe's love and guidance. See all that comes to you easy. Allow yourself to be that magnet for abundance and prosperity. All the goodness in life is already yours. Just go ahead and claim it. Good. Awesome. Oh, Star is here. Oh my gosh, Star is my business coach, y'all, and she is the reason that I'm here tonight, guys. I cannot even speak highly enough about this woman. She is just she is my North Star. So I'm so honored to have her here. Thank you, Star Hayward, for being here. I appreciate you. So guys, this is our mantra for this week. I attract infinite abundance. I love you, Queen. Thank you so much. All right, so Miss Sonia, we're going to get to you first. We're going to go ahead and use the new deck, the Rose Oracle deck. From Miss Sonia. And then we have Presh. I could not speak highly enough about her, Diana. She is an absolute amazing human. Aside from as an amazing business coach, she's tops. So, all right. So we're calling on Miss Sonia's team and only Miss Sonia's team to come through for highest good, please. Gotta really break these cards in. So give me a second. Thank you, Catherine, for sharing. I appreciate you. If you would like a reading, please let me know. Also, any donations get priority readings. If you've done a donation, also please let me know so then that way I can get you on the list. Let me shut this off. I thought that was on. Okay, Miss Sonia. Ooh. I just love this. Okay, so Miss Sonia, your first card is Come to Me, attracting like a rose, receive abundance and desires. And I just want to say, I really feel like this word abundance is going to be very significant for us this next month coming in, especially. Right. So we need to start getting our mindset into abundance so we can start attracting for this new year. So I know anybody that's kind of followed me over the last couple of months, anybody who's followed me, just kind of want to say, we've talked the last couple of months about really kind of being in your hibernation mode and really kind of stepping into yourself and kind of checking in. But as we're coming into this next month, and this is for the collective in general, I really want you guys to start really just kind of focusing on what your intentions are going to be coming this new year. So this abundance is going to be really a big word. And I also want just kind of to mention that abundance doesn't always have to be money, right? So we start thinking about abundance in opportunities, abundance in in love, abundance in, obviously material things is great too, but abundance can mean so many different things. So kind of step outside of the box when you're thinking about abundance and what you're wanting and what you're trying to attract. So abundance, attracting like a rose, receive abundance and desires. I love that. All right. Your second card, Miss Sonia, is the Thorn, protection, boundaries, clear communication. How stunning these cards are, and they just feel so amazing. So I absolutely love this deck. I was so excited to work with this. And your third card, Miss Sonia, is After the Rain, silver lining, relief, hope, mercy. It's over. acceptance. Look how beautiful that is. That is absolutely stunning. So I love how beautifully these cards are just so wonderfully laid out. Attracting, protection, boundaries, communication, and then just knowing and acceptance of the suffering doesn't have to continue. So many times we get caught up in our pain, in our suffering. And, Sonia, you and I have worked together a little bit on just acceptance, but also that silver lining. Like, this is your team really specific telling you, look, everything is going to be okay. There is a silver lining. Don't give up. They are mentioning just being very careful about your boundaries and how you're setting your boundaries, and just being very clear on communication. I think sometimes we tend to speak about the things that we don't want, right? So when we speak about the things that we don't want in communication, it kind of puts to the side the things that we do want. So when you're communicating, whoever that you're communicating with, please make sure that you are mentioning the things that you do want, the things in a positive state. That way you can attract that, right? So, obviously, like attracts like. If you keep focusing on the things that you don't want, you're going to continue to attract the things that you don't want. So pay attention to your verbiage and where you're focusing your energy. That clear communication is going to really be significant. The boundaries also. And then receiving abundance. I also want to mention just how important it is to learn to receive. We always talk about how wonderful giving is. And it is great. It's great to be a giver. It's great to give, but it has to be on a balance set, right? So if all we have in this world are givers, who's receiving? We have to be in a state of balance. So kind of learning how to receive, just gifts and blessings and whatever just comes our way. If somebody gives something to, whether it's a compliment or just a gift or whatever, just allow that to come through. So remember the balance part of giving and receiving. So it's great to give, but it's also wonderful to receive as well. And just kind of allowing that energy, because the more that you are getting, the more that you get comfortable receiving, the more you will receive, if that makes sense. And then I can't speak enough about this silver lining, relief, hope, mercy. It's over and acceptance. I love the acceptance. They are really asking you to accept the fact that you don't have to have continual pain. It's over. If you can start saying that to yourself and start giving yourself permission to heal in other areas, then it's going to be so significant for you. Okay, pain. I think we need pain in the sense of, for our growth, right? For lessons. When we incarnate into this world, we know that there's lessons that we are going to need in order for us to grow as humans, but also as spirits, right? But suffering is the attachment to memories, to trauma, to good things, to bad things. So learning how to practice detachment and so much in our lives, whether it's attachment to people or situations, expectations, right? So there's different forms of attachment that we get attached to. So really kind of pay attention to that. So Miss Sonia, that is your reading for this evening. Thank you so much for being here. Oh, thank you. I appreciate you. Hey, Melanie, welcome. Thank you for being here. Melanie from the UK, London. Wonderful, wonderful, wonderful. Thank you so much for being here. Let's see. Presh, welcome. Thanks for being here. Nia, thank you. Where are you checking in from, Nia? You're so welcome. Hi, Donna Marie. Welcome, Donna Marie. It's great having you here, darling. Latasha, you still here? I got you next. You got Presh. Then Catherine. Yeah. Wonderful, wonderful. Thank you so much. Ooh. All right, Miss Presh, for you, we have the Mediums and Magic and Mediums Oracle deck. Hi, Tammy, welcome. Oh, no. Yeah, so Tammy, I do not do health or legal questions, my dear. I'm quite sorry on that. I do personal development, self-care, self-love, what you need to know on that end. I do not do medical or legal questions, my dear. I am sorry for that. Call on Precious Tina and Precious Tina to come through for her discoveries. Melanie, so you can get on the list. If you pay, you get priority, and so you kind of jump the list. So all donations get priority readings. So Nia, I have you and after this, I actually two in front of you, Nia. Thank you. So thank you, Valencia. Valencia, you can actually either go to my PayPal. It's on the ticker over here. You can either PayPal or Venmo. PayPal is Dana at SNH Coaching, or Venmo at I think it's Coach Dana 1, if I remember right. Yeah, it's Coach Dana 1. All right, so Ms. Presh, your first card. Where are you? I'll go ahead and do that. So that way people know who I'm doing. All right, so your first card is Divination. Your second card is Listen. And then your third card is Praise. So I'm gonna work backwards a little bit, Presh, for you, darling. I'm going to start with the Praise card first. One thing that they're really talking about when that Praise card was pulled, and as I was reading it, the energy that was coming through on that specifically was just for you to focus a lot more on gratitude, just being very, very grateful. And I know that we tend to, be very grateful in our lives for the bigger things, but to really pay attention to the smaller things in life. The reason that they're doing this is because as you have this reminder to pay attention to the small things and to be in gratitude, it helps to kind of raise up your vibration, and it's for you to focus on the things that you want, to attract the things that you want. So it's kind of going to like constantly be in that state of attraction and abundance, right? That listen though is the messages that that you're getting, that you're still kind of second guessing. Just give yourself permission to either get it right or get it wrong, but just trust in what you're getting. And I understand that trust can be really difficult sometimes, but the reason that is really coming in after or before that praise card and that gratitude card is because we tend to be able to hear clearer when our vibration is higher, because we're not overthinking things. Does that make sense? So you're giving yourself you're setting yourself up in a stage of gratitude, yes, but as you raise your frequency and you're more in flow, because now things are coming the way it's supposed to, you're able to now hear your messages and the signs and the symbols that come through, hear more because of the state that you're in, right? That divination is just really, and like I said, I'm working backwards, because definitely just being able to now, see what the messages that you're going to be getting, really work with your gifts the way that you're supposed to. I know that you and I have talked about for the past year that we've been reading. I can't believe it's almost been a year that I've been doing readings on psychic fixes, but I'm so excited. Yeah, but a lot of it is really the energy that you put into to your daily, even when you're not working, even when you're not doing readings, even when you're not in that state of service, just for yourself. In that sense, this is a part of your self-care and your self-love, but this also helps to build your gifts in a way that's going to just be very second nature and authentic. Do you know what I mean? So you're able to just very naturally flow into hearing a message, sitting across your friend during coffee at a cafe and being able to download and give the information, boom, without even really trying, if that makes sense at that point. So because you're really just constantly in that state of gratitude, constantly in the state of just trusting, even when the things don't work out the way that you want them to, again, just giving yourself that space of everything works out the way it should. All right. That is a saying that I've adopted, and I really have just been saying really hard, especially this past year. Everything happens as it should. Everything happens as it should. And just trusting that and allowing that to come through. So if you trust that and allow that to come through, you're showing that you're trusting the process of life and the process of everything else that happens. So it's one thing that's really going to help strengthen everything else, if that makes sense. So yeah, definitely give thanks, be in a state of gratitude, talk to your team a lot, give yourself permission to have that. Presh, that is your reading for tonight, my dear. Thank you. And the magic word for this week, I think, is going to be abundance and flow. All right, Miss Catherine, are you here, my dear? Hey, Paul, welcome. Paul, I think you were here last week or the week before. Your name looks very familiar. Hi, Catherine. Welcome, my darling. Whew. Awesome. Well, welcome back, Paul. Thanks for being here. Miss Catherine, we'll get you up. Hang on a second. Decided that I'm going to start putting up the people that I'm reading on up because I think that helps a little bit more. Okay, so far, Catherine, 2 of your cards have flown out of the deck. Oof, love it. All right, my dear. So, Miss Catherine, your first card is Kitchen Magic. And again, this kind of flew out the deck. Your second card is the Release card. Thank you. Your third card is the Guardian card. I do want to start with the Kitchen Magic card first. So, Catherine, I don't know how much you know about magic or, working with herbs and all of those things. What I will say, so I'm just going to be very, very general. So please, if I don't mean to insult you, if you are a full-time practitioner, whatever that looks like for you, I'm just going to give you some very general information, right, on that, but also basically what the messages that I'm getting. So what I'm hearing is just to be a little bit more intentional with what you're using as far as herbs, the tea that you're drinking. So please know that all of the herbs that we use, even in the kitchen when we're cooking, are culinary herbs. Each of them have a medicinal purpose to them, right? But they also have a very energetic purpose to them as well. So we know our basic things like sage for cleansing, rosemary for protection, but also things like lavender for love, rose petals for love, peppermint to help bring energy. If you're doing any type of spell work, adding some coffee or whatever, just to kind of make it work a little bit faster. But so the message specifically is just to learn to be a little bit more intentional with the herbs that you're using and cooking. When you're cooking and you're making your tea or even drinking your coffee, setting an intention behind that. Right? There is such a magic that happens when you are very intentional with each process of your day, giving thanks for it, working with the herbs and working with, your food, and being thankful for the blessing that you get for the food and for everything. So the reason that this is important is because this is going to help build your energy. So we are really focusing on our energy and how we are working with our energy so that we can continue to be in flow. Right. So, all right. So like I said, flow is really going to be the focus for this week that we're really working on. Why is that important? Because we get to that next part, which is the release card. And as I was pulling this card, just for the second, it was what I heard was give permission to release. So whatever, let me back up a little bit. Your team is basically saying that they are asking you to trust them enough to release that control. Trust them enough to release the need to have your hand in every part of everything, right? Be intentional with everything, but also let things go. Practicing detachment. That guardian card is the I got your back card. Okay. So allow yourself to release because I got your back. I mean, this is as simple as I can put it at this point. There isn't anything to worry about. When you give yourself permission to trust in your team and to work with them and to just release the need for expectation or how things work or need to know what every part of it is, surrender is really difficult to be in. I get that. I understand that. But being in that state of surrender and trust definitely allows everything to just flow and everything will happen very divine in its timing. Asking for the people that need to be in your life to make something happen. Allow that to come in, whether they come and go. We don't need to get attached to, whether or not they're going to come and stay or however that looks like. It doesn't make a difference. You are getting exactly what you need right now for whatever that purpose is. Now, I say that to say is that, again, being very intentional with the things that you're working with. So be very intentional with your energy, your thoughts, your words, but also even with your the magic that you're using. And we may not even be intentionally trying to use magic, but I mean, essentially it is, when we are making a tea or when we're eating our food or anything like that, you're putting the spices inside of your food, that, and you're doing it with love. That's an intention, that's an intention that you're setting. So if you're cooking and you're angry, it's not going to sit right in your system because it just doesn't feel good. That's the energy that you're putting into it. So again, being very intentional with all of your actions, but also again, knowing that, you have the ability to release the thoughts, the feelings, the expectations, the worries, the concerns, because they don't need to stay with you, my dear. You definitely have a beautiful support team with your spirit team here behind you. So let's see. So, Miss Catherine, that was your reading for tonight, my dear. That was your reading for tonight. There we go. Let's see. Oh my gosh, who do we have next? Nia. Hey, Amantha, it's welcome. It's great having you here, my dear. You're so welcome. Okay. Hi, Melissa. I don't know how to send stars. I wish I could. I think there should be a way to do it on, I guess if you're on Facebook and you're doing it, there should be little thing that says send stars. I'm not really sure. I apologize. I don't know. I sorry. Let's see. We got Catherine. We got Nia. Melanie. And then this looks like we have Melanie, and I don't know why. I'm so sorry. I wish I could give you the answers to that. I don't know. Are you guys on Psychic Fixes? Is that the page that you're checking in from? Or what page are you joining from? Because it might be that. Let's see. All right, so let's go ahead, and Nia is next. Thank you. So, Miss Nia, for you, we have the Archangel deck. Thank you. Miss Nia, your first card is the Composure card. I really want you just to take a look at this card just for a second and just see how beautifully balanced all of that is. Your second card is the Self-Acceptance card. Your third card is the Harmony and Resolution card. Perfect. So the first thing that I heard was balance when it came to this Composure card, which is the reason that I brought this up. Yes, keeping our composure in those times and instances where we are really struggling. Now, why do we have to have that as important? Because that so much of that is there's a guilt and a shame associated with saying things that you necessarily didn't mean. Things that you feel like, okay, maybe I'm having some guilt about that. I shouldn't have said that. I acted a little bit more than I really should have. And then at that point, really kind of being down on yourself about it, right? Even if it's the state of holding back and not speaking your voice. The reason that whole balance part comes in is because that self-acceptance is not beating yourself up afterwards, right? It's the knowing that, look, I did the best that I could in each one of these situations, and I have to love myself and learn to get to get through this myself, right? That sorry, the doorman's here. Sorry. So really giving yourself the opportunity to. Sorry. Actually, he's not going to go away until I get this. I apologize. 1 second. Hi. Thank you. Thank you so much. Have a great night. Oh, Lord. He was not going to leave until I got my packages. I am so sorry. Oh, well, that's lovely. Thank you so much. That was really insane. I am so sorry for that. He just was going to stand there. He literally was standing there. All right. So Back to you, Miss Nia. I apologize so much. So again, keeping our composure, but also that kind of leads into the self-acceptance part, right? So just knowing that you gave yourself the grace of loving yourself no matter what the situation. You know, we try to just do all the things right in this world, and we try to really, you know, especially for spiritual beings, and we have our spirituality, our religion, whatever that is, we try to do the best that we can. And then when we don't live up to those expectations, then we're a little bit more down on ourselves, and we tend to be a little bit harder on ourselves because there's that expectation of I should have, right? I should have been this, I should have acted, I should have spoken, I should have not said anything. But just knowing that, look, we did everything that the best that we could. I do want to just talk a little bit about putting a little bit of time, of space between stimulus and response, right? So the stimulus being a situation of maybe a comment or something that happens, and then the response of the word or the action. So I just kind of take a little bit of pause when you start feeling yourself being stimulated by whatever the situation is, being angered or being upset or whatever. Just take a pause and say, you know what? I'm not going to react to this right now. I'm not going to speak on this right now. I'm going to give myself, 5 minutes or, whatever that looks like for you. And then go back and revisit it, because you don't need to give an actual response that very moment, right? So give yourself for that. Now, why do we have to do that? Because we'll feel better afterwards. That harmony and resolution will come once you have the self-acceptance, because knowing that you did the very best that you could in situations, that brings a sense of peace, my dear. Just giving yourself that, it's going to give you that sense of peace that you need in order for you to continue. And now trust the situations that come in the future, the same thing. So rinse and repeat. I learned what I learned from that situation. Now, if it comes up again in the future, or when it comes up again in the future, I know how to handle it a little bit better. And that's absolutely okay. You don't always need to get it right the first time, right? You don't always need to get it right the first time. Just do the best that you can and love yourself through it, because you are still in the process of learning. You are still a student of life. We are all still a student of life. And as we are doing this, it gives us the opportunity to say, okay, well, next time, this is how I can change it. This is what things that I can do a little bit better. I won't change that. I'll add this. I'll take this away. Give yourself that space for that. But that composure and kind of, again, putting that space between stimulus and response is going to really help you with that self-acceptance. And Miss Nia, that is your reading for this evening. Thank you so much. Let's see. Miss Melanie, are you here, my dear? Yeah, yes, you are. And I hope that resonated with you. Star, don't laugh at me. That was terrible. I was a very persistent UPS guy. Very persistent UPS guy. He was just standing there like, okay, I'm going to stand here. I guess because he saw me in the window. And usually we open the door, but so funny. My other house, it was the dogs barking. Here, it's the persistent UPS guy. Oh, man. So funny. So, Miss Melanie, we're going to use the Rose Oracle deck for you this evening. I love this deck. Oh my gosh. Okay. So, Miss Melanie, your first card is Whispers of Mother Earth, creativity, ideas, inspiration, artist, writer, channel. Where is it? There we go. Your second card, after the rain. I guess this card is showing up hard tonight. Silver lining, relief, hope, mercy. It is over acceptance. And then your third card, your last card, is a sacred union, beloved within inner and outer relationships. I'm going to begin with the after the rain and then work my way out if that's okay. So we're going to begin with the silver lining, relief, hope, mercy. It's over acceptance. The word that for is coming out straight away is the relief and hope, which is going to now spider web over to that creativity and that ideas, inspiration, creativity. I am getting a lot of creativity coming out of this now. Now, what I'm hearing is use the pain in order to help heal, right? So use that pain and give yourself that, hi, Miss Kate, and give yourself that permission to write, to sing, to draw, to paint, whatever it is that you need to do to be able to release that. There are some beautiful art therapy classes. There are some beautiful writing classes that you can take to learn how to really express yourself. Or genuinely, like I like to tell my clients, just bleed out on paper. There's nothing more authentic than just being there and just spilling and being in the emotion and allowing the emotion to flow through you very creatively, whatever that looks like for you, right? So that can be very different. That inspiration is going to come from the healing process that you're going through. The inner outer relationships that's coming that I very specifically is the inner relationship with yourself. Like this is the child allowed, and here's, oh no, where'd you go? The acceptance of your heart, of your new path, of what it is that you're wanting to create for yourself now, but also the acceptance of loving yourself even though you were struggling. Does that make sense? Loving yourself even though you were struggling. We have an immense amount of spammers tonight. Oh, yeah. I think I need to bring somebody in just to do the housekeeping part of this, of the show. So good. I'm glad that you're writing things down. It's going to be very therapeutic for you, but also when you're writing things down, kind of go back and just kind of check in with it, right? So there's usually patterns that start happening, that we can start noticing when we write, because we'll notice that, okay, well, especially when you're journaling, right? Kind of going back and seeing where it is that you were in pain, how you were dealing with it, what thoughts were, what your emotions were, how you were handling things. And then you can start kind of noticing some of the patterns that come through. Now, why is that important? Because that kind of helps us in the future. So being able to identify these patterns and these cycles really helps us to say, okay, well, I don't want to do this anymore. That doesn't work for me, or that did work for me, and I can now use that in the future. But being able to just channel out the some of the pain and the thoughts and the emotions in a way that's now going to be healthy for you, and really build that relationship within yourself. So give yourself permission to recreate yourself. Give yourself permission to recreate yourself. You don't have to be that person all the time. Let's see, where is she? She says, yes, I'm trying. Good. Okay. Showed me I needed help. Okay, good. Well, I'm glad that you're trying. So continue to do that. They're definitely saying continue to do that. And then it's again going to build that relationship within yourself. And And like I mentioned earlier, when you're focusing on rebuilding a relationship with yourself, focus on the things that you want to do, the person that you want to be, right? So when I'm working with my clients, and I say, okay, well, let's talk about the person you want to be. And they say, well, I don't know who I want to be. I don't know what that looks like. Well, start very, very general. Do you want to be a good person or a bad person? Do you want to be loving? Do you want to be compassionate? What does that look like for you? And then define what those things are. Because the more that you can define it, the clearer it becomes for you. Does that make sense? So giving yourself that permission to be able to do that and really define and to be very clear about what kind of a good person you are, what a loving person means, this now creates that and really helps to build a relationship with yourself, because now you have a clear picture of who you are. And again, now, and what you're going to start noticing, and they're showing me, is that the shift from that to now like a more healed type of creativity. So expect that in the beginning, but there's going to be a shift later on down the road, because there's going to be a transition for you. And as you go through this transition, your work, your writing is all going to start changing for you. And so that's a good thing. So allow that to happen. Just be in the flow and allow things to happen as they go. Well, I have kids. So I have 3 kids. I understand. I know it's easy to say, but at the end of the day, you make time for the things that are important for you in your healing. So even if it's just before you go to bed, spending 2-3 minutes of just writing some things out, that will definitely be able to help. Kids take up a lot of time, and it's challenging. I definitely understand that. But also, what I will remind you, from mom to mom, is that you are the nucleus in your life. And if mama's not okay, nobody's okay. Right? So you have to take care of you. You have to make yourself a priority, the same way that you make your children a priority. You have to make yourself a priority in order to be able to take care of them effectively. Because if they are not getting the best version of you, then you're shortchanging them. I had to learn that lesson very, very hard. I say that respectfully, right? I'm not being insulting. I'm saying that because that is the lesson that I had to learn. I was everybody else's superwoman, and I gave to everybody. That's how I had to learn about the balance between giving and receiving. I was a giver. I gave everybody. I gave to the point where I had nothing left, but I did not know how to receive. And I had a really hard lesson in receiving and learning how to, life literally forced me to learn how to receive help. Like I was physically to the point where I couldn't walk, and I had to have my children help me. And that was the hardest thing for me. I didn't know how to do that. So if you don't do it, life, the universe is going to do it for you. And it may not be in a very gentle and, loving and sweet manner. So my suggestion is to learn how to do it a little bit at a time, even if it's, again, 2 minutes before you go to bed. I don't care if you fall asleep with the book and the pen in your hand. Just give yourself permission to release a little bit each day, my friend, because you are your most important relationship, and everything around that is going to depend on you. Yep. Kate, you have 6 kids? God bless you, ma'am. Send them off with love. Miss Kate, why does it, all day it's been today. And thank you for the reminder of sending them off with love, because I'm always like, I'm always definitely annoyed by it, because I'm like, that's one thing that I don't need to be interrupted by. But yes, ma'am, I will try. I know I need to be better about that. Definitely. Okay, so Miss Melanie, that was you. Bless your heart. 4 boys, 2 girls. Yeah, I have 2 boys. Boy, those boys are a handful. Oh my goodness. I think we have time for one more reading. Miss Helen. Are you still here, my dear? See, Miss Helen going once. There you are. All right. So we are sending you off with love. As Miss Kate says. See, I'm doing better. I know I gotta be consistent about it. I know. All right, so calling on Miss Helen's team. Miss Helen, we are using this Rose Oracle deck. I kept hearing the word gentle and compassion. Kind of see now why your first card just kind of flew out, but I'm hearing the word gentle and compassion for you tonight. Let's see what they have to say. Like you need to be with yourself, my dear. And I see why. Okay. So your first card is healing the mother line. Healing ancestral work, mother line, growing up. Your second card is lineage of the rose, moved by the goddess here for this soul call and gather. Soul call. Let me move my hand so you can see that. And then your last card is trust the seasons, embracing change, cycles of life, transition, and growth. And I don't know why, but just holding this card is making me like super emotional. Like I just feel like crying right now. Like this card is just totally making me emotional. I also just kind of want to point out, if I can do this properly, if I can point out just if you're noticing the seed and as it starts blossoming and blooming and then kind of going around, where am I? Sorry. And then as the petals start falling off and then going back into the earth. And I love, this is what we talk about all the time when I talk about seasons of change and just nature being very authentic and organic with the way that it just allows things to happen. It doesn't worry about the petals falling off. It doesn't try to hold on to it. It just allows things to happen. But let's go into the healing, the mother line and that lineage. Working with that ancestral, one of the things that I've really kind of noticed in this, when I'm working with folks, either doing readings or doing coaching or any spiritual work that we're doing, is that so many of us are here to break that generational cycles and those generational patterns, right? We're the ones. Doesn't matter what part of life you're in. This is the lifetime for you to actually do that. So the reason that you're going into this is because you have the opportunity to now to stop that pain, to stop that cycle, to stop that bleeding, right? You can cauterize it with you yourself. And then being able to now change what happens future on with children, grandchildren, right? So when you know better, you do better. You start doing some healing work with the generations after you, right? So there's a lot of that, but that generational healing prior to, and I would even recommend talking to your ancestors, like, and if you're doing like meditation or connecting with, your ancestral team, definitely just asking for that guidance and asking for, the love and, for what is it that needs to be healed, right? Specifically, I do feel that you have an idea of what needs to be healed. Things that I try to be very general when it comes to these readings, so not to put a lot of information or your business on public display, if you will. But I do kind of feel like you have an idea of what that is. But that ancestral work and that healing is so significant. Part of that, like I said, it makes sense now. Been ugly fighting with my daughter that lives in my house. Yes. I do, like I said, I was hearing a lot of compassion and being gentle, like being gentle with yourself, being more compassionate with yourself. The reason is because when you can do that, it helps in that healing, and it helps with that work that you're going to be doing, because so much of it is the I should have, or I should, or I'm supposed to. So putting all of that pressure on yourself. This is going to now start affecting the relationships after you. So look behind you to see what cycles, because sometimes it's not sometimes, most of the time, it's just generationally what we were brought up with, right? How we think things are supposed to be, what it is that the expectation that we have, that we were given, that we have on ourselves, that we now pass on to those after us. So just kind of be aware of some of those things that you could just start letting go. But that healing needs to start taking place, because after that, all of that is going to be affected as well. And that embracing change, cycles of life. Again, I can't speak enough about how much this card is just so, like, it just feels so profound when I'm holding it and reading it, because that cycle of change and embracing it is just that, like embracing the fact that what's important to you right now. What boundaries do you need to set? Where can you guys come into a healthy understanding? How can we communicate better? Maybe there's a disconnect in communication. We weren't born learning how to communicate. And quite frankly, most of us, I know my generation, we didn't have that, okay, well, let's learn how to communicate. Like, our parents were just like, go to your room, don't talk about it. We weren't born with that ability, or even was raised with that. It was just like, don't talk about your emotions. And I know my mother's generation was definitely a don't talk about your emotions. So we had to learn that later on in life. And so what ends up happening is that we project it. So I unfortunately projected it with my children, but I caught them early on enough in their life where I was able to make those changes, because those are just things that needed to be changed. Makes sense. But, sometimes those things happen and you don't realize it, because it's just how you were. You don't know what you don't know. Right. And that goes for everybody. You don't know what you don't know. If you were raised to always think and behave and to look at things a certain way, you're going to continue to do that. And if you have children, you're going to pass on that thought and those beliefs. Now, does it make it great? No. We know from society that a lot of times that's really not how it should be. But as you learn and as you experience different things and you start becoming more self-aware, you so I say feel what needed for you and for you. So compassion, but it can end with you. I say that to say is that, I know you have a daughter and all of that. See what can be healed now. So then that way she's not passing it on generationally as well. Makes sense. Hello, Liz. Thank you for being here. Okay, and we are at time. All right, guys. Well, thank you so much for being here. I am so grateful for everybody that checked in tonight. We had a full house. I'm so happy. Thank you. I'm sorry for all of those that I did not get to. Please check in next week, Monday, same bat time, same bat station, 6:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Again, if you have donations, those get done first. So definitely make sure that you get those in and let us know ahead of time. I will see you guys next week. Have a very magical Monday. Thank you for being here. I appreciate your love and support. You're so welcome, Ms. Helen. Thank you for being here and supporting the show. I appreciate you, my friend. Thank you, everyone, for showing up tonight and showing out. You guys are amazing, and I love you so much. Blessed be.